Welcome to the dark side of Beastwriter. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be breaking down the silver and black content. I know there's a not Raider, but I know there's a Niners Seahawks game going on for Thursday Night Football, but we are talking silver and black here. I'm just joking. No, if you guys are watching the game because you guys play fantasy football, all good and dandy. I just wanted to hop on this live stream for those who don't really play fantasy or don't really care to watch the 49ers Seahawks, because at the end of the day, I think the 49ers are just going to blow them out anyways. And we all know how this story is going to be written off. It's 21-6, 8:08 left in the third quarter. So if you're going to ask me if the Seahawks are going to come back from this game, I would say no. I think it's a hard no. I think that game's already done. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about Week 15 as it pertains to your Las Vegas Raiders. Before I want to go ahead and say, before I get started, just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to the Beastwriter channel. Just be sure to turn on and flip on the bell notification so you get notified when I go live or when I upload content. Whether it be football and fitness, that's what we do. I'm building up my home gym here in lovely Las Vegas. You guys, if you guys haven't saw the video that I posted, we have now dumbbells. We have a flat bench. We are doing a lot of different things, and I'm going to be giving you a lot of different tips and tricks of the trade when it comes to building up those fitness gains. So a lot of times what I like to do is I like to, be the best version of yourself. And how do you do that? Well, fitness does play a role because let's be honest about it. If you're fit, there's nothing bad that can come from it, So I always try to say live your best life, or in my case, live your beast life. And that's what I try to do every day. I go in the gym, hit it hard. And then I feel that I've accomplished something other than just simply the 9-to-5 job or whatever the case may be. So that's what I do. You guys know I bodybuild for a living, obviously. That's my other part of the 9-to-5. I have like 3 9-to-5s. I don't know how I fit all that into my schedule, but I do. All right. So Bay rooted and so forth. So a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. Salvador Bruno says, salute everyone. Salute to you guys here in the DOB. And we are running cool giveaways. Let me just hold on. Let me get the giveaways for you guys, because like I said, if you're just joining this live stream, or if you guys are not subscribed to the Dark Side of Beastwriter YouTube channel, be sure to do that so you'll be entered for these weekly giveaways that we give away every single week, hence weekly DOB giveaways, Dark Side of Beastwriter giveaways. So if you're not engaging with me on this platform here on YouTube, do yourself a favor, open up a YouTube account, get one. It's through Gmail. If you have Gmail, it's Google, same thing. So just open up a YouTube account, subscribe to the channel, and engage with me, because I don't know who's following me. I don't know who's not following me. But if you engage with me, obviously that means you follow me, because that means you get the notifications when I go live, and then you're engaging with me on this platform. So do yourself a solid, like Daniel Kim does. And he's going to be a DOB giveaway winner as well. He says, yo, Pickens, G. Davis, Waddle, or Shark at wide receiver. Look, we got some fantasy football questions coming in hot. I like George Pickens. I say he was a first-round talent coming out of Georgia. I thought he was going to be a steal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was. And so if you watch the game film, George Pickens, to be honest with you, I think he, in the next 2 to 3 years, could be a top 5 wide receiver, if not top 3 wide receiver in the entire NFL. George Pickens is that good. I'm telling you guys right now, stay on high alert when it comes to number 14, George Pickens, because George Pickens is the real deal. I would say put in George Pickens. All right, so getting back to it, let's talk about the giveaways that I have here for all you guys. Some goodies I like to give away for you guys, right? So if you guys missed the last live stream, like I said, just be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on, what other platforms are we on? Instagram. Well, Instagram, you can't do live videos, but any of those platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. In the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a subscribe button. Just go ahead and subscribe. And obviously, the bigger the DOB grows, the bigger the prizes. All right? So this is nothing new. I've done this with the San Francisco 49ers. I even give away season tickets to the 49er games still today for my loyal fans in the DOB. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get these giveaway prizes. Let's grow the channel. Share it on all your social media platforms. Share on Facebook. Everyone's on Facebook. Even though they're not on Facebook, they're still on Facebook. share this video on Facebook. It'll be pushed to other Raider Nation like yourselves. And if they like the content, they're going to subscribe to the channel, which means Raider tickets, right? Because the bigger we get, the bigger the prizes. So over the weekend, I went out and got some goodies for the DOB family because obviously you guys sent me super chats and super stickers. I want to use those funds to go to a road game. But then you know what? I was like, you know what? I still got to run these giveaways. And so I went to my piggy bank. And these socks are not cheap, right? These socks are expensive. I got them at downtown Summerlin. If you guys have never been to downtown Summerlin, it's gorgeous. It's great. I mean, possibly I might move there. It's awesome. Summerlin is legit. It's very family oriented. It reminds me of Santana Row back in the Bay Area. But without further ado, look, we got these Davante Adams socks. All right, premium crew socks. All right. And these are $20. All right, $20 value. Absolutely free. I feel like this is an infomercial. It's really not. But we got this. All right, we got the black ones, and then we got the Max Crosby ones. All right, these are $20 a piece, guys. We're giving away these for free just for subscribing to the YouTube channel. So if you want to be entered for these cool giveaway prizes, especially with Christmas rolling around. And by the way, we are launching our DOB swag. We have custom-made decals coming in. So stay tuned for that. You guys can purchase those, and you guys can slap those on your hydro flasks. You guys can slap these things on your hydro flasks, cell phones, laptops, you name it. It's going to be hot. And they're top quality stuff. All right. It's water resistant, weather resistant, scratch proof. Telling you the real deal. Anyways, we also got these Raider Nation rally towels we'll be giving away. All right. You see that? I know you guys can see that. So we're giving away that. I'm telling you, man, do it all for the DOB family here. All right. It's all, and again, the bigger we get, the bigger we grow here in the DOB, the bigger the prizes. So this is just the beginning. This is only it's not even year one yet. Year one is not done for me. This is my first year covering the Raiders. This is not done yet. We're just getting started. All right. Also, we're going to have a meet and greet here in lovely Las Vegas where you guys can, with the red carpet and everything. And we're going to be running cool giveaways like this because I want to engage with the DOB family. How do we do that? Well, I got to set up a meet and greet. You guys can come out to that location and we'll sign autograph helmets. We'll have a lot of different things going on, jerseys, whatever the case may be. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that. But you guys have to be here in the DOB family in order to get those notifications so you know where I'm at. Anyways, these things are really cool. I found these things in downtown Summerlin at the Raider Image store. All this is, by the way, at the Raider Image store. But I asked the person there, I'm not going to name drop her name, but became friends with her. And I was like, hey, this is kind of going off topic. I was like, hey, what's the top selling jersey that you guys have here? And she's like, you know what she said? She said 2 players, Josh Jacobs and Max Crosby. I was surprised. Not so much really surprised that she said Josh Jacobs, but the fact that, let's be honest about it, Josh Jacobs probably wasn't top 5 selling jersey before the season started. Probably been Max Crosby, Davante Adams, Derek Carr, right? Well, and you know, Josh Jacobs may be top 5 actually, but he wouldn't be top 3. He's like number 1 right now, and for good reason. He's the best running back in the game. But interesting enough, I thought that was interesting, and I was like, oh man, like, because obviously there's a lot of kids that follow me, a lot of teenagers. I was like, oh, what about these youth jerseys? Like, how much, do you guys have any for Davante Adams? Bay Area rooted Davante Adams, right? Love Davante Adams. She's like, no. She's like, we only have Josh Jacobs. I was like, wait, you don't have any Davante Adams youth jerseys? She's like, no, but we have Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a hot seller. All I'm saying about Josh Jacobs is this. Let's keep JJ in Raider Nation because last time I checked, he's the engine that makes that run. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, without the running game, this team would not have, they wouldn't have won Seattle, the team they're playing right now, up in the Pacific Northwest, if it wasn't for that 86-yard touchdown run. I'm just saying, Josh Jacobs, let's keep him here. Let's keep him here in Las Vegas long term. Now, is it going to happen? Is that the Patriot way or the Raider way? But GM Dave Ziegler, if you're watching this, sign Josh Jacobs. He's not going to listen to me. It's like, okay, whatever, dude. Daniel Kim says, let's go Raiders. My cousin-in-law who lives in Seattle is at the game. Really? Your cousin-in-law is at the game. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story. Seattle fan base is just, it's extremely loyal. Just like the Raider Nation, just like, Niner fans and Forever Faithful and so forth. They are very, very loud. They're very, very loyal. I remember when I used to go on my morning runs, when I used to cover the Seahawks Niner games, when I was a beat writer for the Niners, they would just, man, they would heckle me the whole way. Like they knew who I was. I'd be doing my fasted cardio runs because I would usually go on a road trip to Seattle because I want to visit Seattle. And I was like, whatever, cool. So I'd usually leave like on a Thursday, and then that way I'll be there for three days out of the weekend. Have kind of like a short week. And then, it's funny because I remember going on these fasted cardio runs because downtown Seattle, you can just walk right in, by the way. And I would stay at the Hilton. They even knew what hotel I was staying at, which is whatever. And so they were like, heckle me, oh, Beastwriter, we have beast mode, which is Marshawn Lynch at the time. Oh, there's only one beast. I was like, nah, man, there's two. Just joking. There's really only one beast, and it's me. I'm joking. But no, they would make jokes, but then, oh yeah, we know who you are. Da, da, da. It's like, dang, man, they're really on me. And they would actually not tweet stuff. They were actually like recite my tweets, I would say, on how the game would unfold. And yeah, they're pretty what's the word? Pretty passionate about it, I guess. But it was all in good fun because they're like, oh, but we respect you because you keep it 100 with your grades. I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, you said that blah 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 player was going to be good, and he was, and the grades, and although he's a Seahawks fan, I know a Seahawks player. I know you're a Niner writer, but you keep it 100. I'm like, that's what I do. I keep it 100. Anyways, I'm telling you that story because Seattle is. If you haven't been to Seattle and haven't been to what's it called, Lumen Field now, you guys need to go experience that. It's loud. It's loud there, man. It's really loud. Like it's extremely loud. Now I don't know if they pump up music inside that stadium, which I'm pretty sure to make it louder. I don't know. I feel like it's just really loud. But yeah, check it out. They're playing right now. But look, I went to downtown Summerlin, Raider Image Store, picked up these two bad boys. All right. So these are basically insulated cup holders. Not cup holders, like cup. What do you call these things? It says it keeps cans and bottles cool. So if you're, beer bottle, beer can, soda, keeps your drinks nice and cold. So I'm going to wait. It's good for tailgating. So I'm going to give away two of these guys for all you guys here in the DOB family. Look, we're doing it live. Down kids couldn't see the video. The arms were in the way. All right. So what do we got going on? What arms? My arms? All right. We got What's Up G in the house. My man What's Up G is a diehard Niner fan. And I'll be honest with you, I was a diehard Niner fan at one time because I lived in the Bay Area, obviously. All right, but always had love for the Raiders as well. All right, here we go. Turbo Duran, but now I'm not a fan of any team because I cover the NFL. Turbo Duran, so I can care less if the Niners win or lose. Turbo Duran says, what up, Beastwriter? Stop by to show some Raiders respect to your stream. You keep it 100. Take care. Thank you so much, Turbo Duran. I appreciate the love, man. And again, you are entered. Anyone who engages with us on this platform, on YouTube, you guys are going to be eligible for these giveaways that we have because at the end of the day, I want to give back to you guys. What's the incentive for you guys to follow me anyways? Honestly, you could follow anyone. Why follow me, right? Like, there has to be something in it for you guys because you guys make me who I am. So, like, I can't just be like, take. No, man. Like, I've never been about that life, but I always like to give back to you guys. Always like to meet you guys in person. Met D Menace 4200 2 weeks ago, and it was a really good, fun time. Psycho Jackal says, yo, man, is Darren looking good at practice? Look, he was looking good at practice 2 months ago. I say it was looking sharp. Thought he was going to be playing, and they sent him to my IR. So I don't know what to tell you. Nothing changes to today. I mean, it's not like I see this guy in the locker room all the time. It's just like I don't see any difference. Like from then until now. Now, I don't know what happens behind closed doors. I'm just saying, from what I see on the field in the practices, dating back to what was that, a month and a half ago or however long it was, month ago. He looked fine then. He looks fine now. Like, just I don't see anything. But you know what? I'm not going to say that there's nothing wrong with him. I'm not saying, he did have a hamstring injury, but the extent of that hamstring injury, I don't know. We don't know what the grade of the strain is. We don't know. But he looked fine to me. So I hope that answers your question. Daniel, Raiders game, recognized game says, let's go. Daniel has the flu. This is not good. I hope you guys heal up. And getting over the flu is always a good thing. Look, I was sick. That's why I was off from the first week of October. Half the month was just blah. I was just wiped out, man. I was just like not feeling it. Got a really bad flu here in Vegas, and I never had a flu that bad since, gosh, I can't even remember. Because if the flu is bad enough and it knocks me out to where I can't even work out and go to the gym, or even do a home workout at here, because I wouldn't go to the gym when I'm sick because I won't get other people sick. But even home gym workouts wasn't happening. I couldn't move. Like, I was like immobile. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. I can move, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Salvador says, good to hear. I knew you were sick. Look at the DLB family. See, we care about each other. We don't just like, oh, yeah, hey, what's going on? And then see you later. The DLB family's like, man, like, I know people. Like, I know D Menace in here. My guy D Menace is all up in here. He says, Beast, what's going on? D Menace, cool guy, man. You guys, if you ever guys get a chance to meet D Menace and Tanya, good, great people. Met them at the M Resort and Casino. If you guys haven't even checked out that, this is not a sponsor. I'm just saying, you ever go to the M Resort and Casino, you guys need to check that out. That's a rate. If there's one thing to do when you guys go to Henderson, Nevada, which is right by the Raiders headquarters here, because why I live in Henderson. But check out, obviously you can't go inside the Raiders headquarters because it's blocked off by the black gate. But take pictures, whatever. I'm sure as you drive by, you can take pictures there on Raider Way. And then circle around, come back around, go to the left from Raiders headquarters, keep going down. You'll run into the M Resort and Casino. And that's a crazy ass nice casino. In fact, I'm not even talking about the gambling aspect. I'm talking about the food. I'm talking about the Raider memorabilia that's in there at the Tavern and Lounge. I think it's called Raider Tavern and Lounge. Check that place out. It's legit. I can't even tell you what to order. I go there so many times. Legit. Go there all the time and make good friends with people, the bartenders. Usually we sit at the bar, and Rachel usually does a good job. So holla at Rachel for helping us out and really taking care of us. She does a really good job there. But no, this customer service is on point. You guys got to check it out. Now I'm hyping it up. Man. And you guys got to check out Charles Woodson's Pinot Noir Intercept. That's all I get. That's all I drink. And I had that with D Menace. D Menace, he knows I don't drink, but I was like, I'll have some Pinot Noir. I have some Charles Woodson Pinot Noir for you. And we did it. It's all up on social media. It's great. Daniel Kim says, Salute Nation, hit the like button and support the DOB. Yeah, the DOB is exactly. Just hit the like button. There's 21 of us watching right now. Hit the like button. Give it a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel and help me out, you guys are more than welcome to do that. Super chat are welcome here in the DOB. You guys can send me a super chat, or like Daniel Kim did, after the live stream goes live and it ends, and then you watch it, let's say tomorrow or even on the weekend because you're busy during the work week and you want to still support me and you can't do it because the super chat and super stickers are live stream, you guys can send me what's called a super thanks. So a super thanks is just like a super chat or sticker, and it's a heart icon, I believe, that you guys can click on YouTube, and you guys can send me a super thanks, and I'll get the notification, as Daniel Kim sent me one yesterday. Thank you so much, Daniel Kim. I appreciate it. Got your super thanks. And it's funny because I don't think people know about this. I really don't. Also, if you guys are watching on any of your social media platforms, I don't know, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, it's all in the description box below on the other respective social media platforms that I'm on. So you guys are going to want to follow me on all those social media platforms because sometimes I post on Twitter that I don't post on YouTube, that I don't post to the community page, that I don't post on Facebook. So you guys are going to want to follow. Well, I can't do everything. Like I can't be posting the same exact thing 4 or 5. No, I can, but it's just tedious. Now all about working efficiently. So you're going to want to follow me on those social media platforms. Just telling you. And you'll be entered for the giveaway. So why not subscribe to the channel here on YouTube? What do you have to lose? Well, there's a lot of things you can lose. Oh, man. All right. On to 6 says, Beast, what kind of money is JJ looking at next year? I talked about this earlier. You know, he's worth definitely 10 million a year. 8 to 10 million a year is what he's worth. Now he's going to get 8 to 10 million in Las Vegas? Probably not. You know what? I take that back. Maybe. Because look at you take Josh Jacobs out of the equation and just think if Josh Jacobs had an offensive line to work with. I'm not throwing shade at the offensive line, but let's be honest. That was the storyline going into training camp. That was the storyline going into the season. And here we are today. We don't know who's going to play right guard. Or do we? Look, I'm just going to go out and say this, and I already kind of talked myself into this. I think Jermaine Illuminor is going to be the right guard. I think what they're going to do is going to slide Jermaine Illuminor from right tackle to right guard and give Thayer Munford live reps as the right tackle. Because in order to know what you have, I always say in my live streams here on the DOB family, you need to know what you have. How do you know what you don't have or do have if you don't give the guys live reps? Hello? So it makes more sense. Slide Jermaine Illuminor to right guard. Give Thayer Munford starting reps at right tackle. And let's see where this thing can go. So it's not even a question for me. Like, if they slide anyone else in there, okay, Nutane Mutai. Okay, I guess you can kind of plug and play him there, but they just signed him. So I don't know how that's gonna come to fruition. I would rather them just say, you know what, Jermaine, you know what, Thayer, you guys have been here the whole time under this new regime. So let's just roll with you guys, see how you guys do, see how the team chemistry does. And then if it fails, then you can roll in Nutane Mutai. You know what I'm saying? All right. Raider said, I need them socks. Oh, all right. So what else we got here? Kalau Siguancia says, sorry if I butchered your name. I apologize. I'm just going to call you KS. KS says, you already give us your time, and time is money. Well, hey, time is money. Time is money, which is why I wanted to live close to the Raiders headquarters, which is why I wanted to live close to EOS, because I go to both those places like 2-3 times a day, for real talk. And so that's why I wanted to be close to here on St. Rose, because I was like, you know what? If I'm not near St. Rose, it ain't happening, bro. But St. Rose is kind of long, so it's kind of like I need to be within like striking distance of Raiders headquarters. Or should I say walking distance? He says the incentive is your content, bro. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys like my silver and black content. Because again, I don't just cover the Raiders, although that's my primary focus, obviously. But I like to cover the other 31 and have grades on these players and on these teams and on these schemes. Why? Because you can't just compare players within the same team to know how good that player really is on an individual basis. Like it'd be wrong to be like, oh yeah, well, such and such is pretty good compared to what? Players on their own team? Like, nah, you have to compare within the division, outside the conference, and then gain the pulse around different teams and schemes to formulate that analysis on whether that player is good or not. And in doing so, you have to grade every single snap of those players. A lot of time. Not going to sit here and lie and say it's all fun and games, because it's a lot of film study. I'm telling you right now, and it can get stressful. But it's well worth it. I like doing it because now I have a conviction in my analysis on why this player is doing well, why this player is not doing so hot, and why this guy may be overrated or underrated. as it pertains to college players too, run college grades as well. So that's coming up after the season's over, of course. I run those grades on college prospects, and then I have my top 25 big board. Again, if you guys like mock drafts, you guys are going to want to follow me. Beat Mel Kiper, beat Todd McShay, beat all those guys, Charles Davis, you name it, Daniel Jeremiah, all those guys, beat them for the last 2 years running. And so I like to go up against the best, and I think those guys are the cream of the crop. My opinion. I think those guys are the cream of the crop when it comes to making the mock drafts, and so I'm excited. I'm excited. So last 2 years beat all those analysts that you see on the NFL Network, ESPN, the top ones. And in my estimation, when it comes to mock drafts, not saying they're not top if I didn't name those guys, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, for mock drafts, all right, Charles Davis, all those guys, but yeah, I'm excited hopefully I can go on a 3-year win streak. We'll see. We'll find out. The Beast Receipts check out. The Beast Receipts have been checking out. All right. Raider says, send me your weekly workout routine. I wish I could, man, but that's a secret. I can't send you my coaching tips that I get from my coach. Well, it'd be different. Like if I gave you my workout routine, I'd be hard pressed to think that you could. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. It's very intense. Like if you could burn 1,000 calories in under an hour, let's start there. Like let's start burning 1,000 calories in under 45 minutes or even 35 minutes on the Stairmaster on the highest level, nonstop, no water breaks. And then that's because that's what I do on an empty stomach. And then that's not even the workout. That's just the warm up to the workout. But what I will do for you guys is I will give you guys workout programs. So again, this can be something as simple as posting a workout on how to activate the biceps because you have a long head, you have a short head, and there's different types of the bicep head. We can also talk about triceps. You can also talk about shoulders, delts, rear delts, traps, right? How you get big traps, how you get big shoulders, how you get the caps, how you look 3D, as we like to say here at Evogen. So a lot of different things that we can do. So yeah, we'll be giving you guys workouts to do and try. But the workouts that I do are like competition workouts, which is like in order to get to that level, it takes years and years and years of progression. So you can't just, it's like, well, in layman terms, it's like going and teaching a new scheme, right? You can't expect the player to get it right away, right? There's some kind of process that needs to happen and come to fruition in order to move on to the next step and then the next step. So it's funny how people say, oh, well, they should fire Coach McDaniels because they're not getting it. Or it's like, dude, like, I just don't understand the logic behind that rhyme or reasoning. Silent Gold says, when did you start taking fitness seriously, or have you always taken it seriously? Silent Gold, I've always been taking fitness very seriously. In fact, I had no choice. I'm not the tallest guy, right, in the room. I'm like 5'5", so I'm really short. Probably in the media worker, I'm probably the shortest out of all I am definitely the shortest out of all the guys for sure. But yeah, I'm only like 5'5", and so like throughout high school, playing competitively in high school in sports, I had to win with speed. I had to win with my athleticism and so forth. So aside from that, my senior year, that's when I really started to hit the weights, because I was like, I need to get bigger. I need to get stronger. And how do I do that? Well, by default, I win the leverage game because I'm so vertically challenged. But I was like, I'm going to hit the weights. And so that's when I started my senior year in high school, started hitting the weights religiously. Religiously, I mean like every day. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., work out with my friend Eric Rogers, and we go in the weight room and we'd be hitting weights hard before O period started. And so what we did was that was our routine Monday through Friday, right? Monday through Friday, we hit the weights. And so that was my senior year in high school. And from then on, that was back in 2001. Here we are in 2022, and there was no drop off in production. And so that's why when people say, oh man, like I tell people it's a process. Like there's years and years and years and years and years and years. Like this is nothing that's like comes simple. Like it's a process that when you look at somebody, you say, oh man, like how long did it take you to get there? It's like, it's not so matter. It's not a matter of how long in terms of years, but like how consistent you are in that grind. Right. So there's a lot of different parameters that go into your fitness gains. And so that's why when I see somebody and somebody says that you go to the gym, like, oh man, how long did it take you to get like that? Well, each person is also different, right? Because genetics do play a role. Anyone who says genetics don't play a role in your fitness gains, they're lying to you. Genetics definitely do play a role. And if you guys, I keep telling people, I was talking to people in the media workroom today. I was like, look, like my team's here. I'm on Team Ventura. Also, I'm part of Team Evogen, but Omar Ventura is my coach. If you guys go to Olympia over at the Venetian, is it Venetian? I think it's the Venetian. I don't know. Let me look it up. They are there because Olympia is here. Olympia is here in Las Vegas. It's a bodybuilding show for all. I mean, you want to talk about pros pro. This is the cream of the crop, and this is where it's at. So I would like for you guys to go out and check it out so you guys know the type of commitment and dedication to the grind it takes. It's legit. And so, obviously Lucky Libra is there. Raymond Edmonds is there. Got the peach cobbler pie coming through by Coach O. He gives all the Olympia's peach cobbler pie. And it's a very strict diet. It's no joke. But yeah, if you guys have the opportunity to go, because it's at the Venetian, at the Venetian Expo. But you guys should check it out. It's an expo. It's a convention center. It's really cool. I personally have never been to Olympia, but I know it's cool just because I know I'm in it, and like I've always wanted to go, but never had the opportunity. So we'll see. I should be there this weekend, and it opens up obviously. But it's a lot of cool things that are happening at Olympia. Olympia is like the biggest thing going on right now, in my opinion, outside of the Raiders, obviously, in the Vegas Knights. But in the rodeo, that just, I guess it ended. Beast, what's more likely to happen? Cut or trade Carr or Jones? I think trading Derek Carr. I think that's one that I can see happening, or they can simply release him. I think Derek Carr is going to be more inclined to leave than not inclined to leave. How should I say this? The probability of Derek Carr versus Chandler Jones on which player I believe is going to be on this roster next year, I would give a higher probability rate that Chandler Jones would be on this roster more so than Derek Carr. In fact, I'm not so sure Derek Carr is going to be on this roster next year. I'm just keeping 100. And that's not to say that I'm a Derek Carr hater. I mean, I like Derek Carr as a person. But as a player, he's serviceable, right? But if you had a chance to go after a guy like Bryce Young at Alabama, or bring in a guy like Tom Brady, all right, you have the Brady factor. I'm just saying, Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. And on the Pat McAfee show, right? What'd he say? He said he thinks Tom Brady to the Raiders is a done deal. It was news to me, and I heard it. I was like, oh, Tom Brady to the Raiders is a done deal. Maybe he didn't use those exact words as is a done deal, but he made it seem like it was happening. So, to be honest, I would love that. I would love to see Tom Brady in a Raiders uniform. I don't know. Maybe that's me. D-Man says, appreciate that, brother. It was really nice meeting you. Thanks again for the birthday shots. You're welcome. That's what I like to do. See? I take care of my DOB family, man. And thank you for all the super chats and super stickers and the engagement here and hitting the like button. And like I said, there's like 20 of us here right now. Just hit the like button right now if you guys like the channel and like the silver and black content. Raiders game recognized game says Beast gets crazy off the bottle too. I don't drink much either. Yeah, I don't drink much, man. I really don't drink much. I think it has a lot to do with my bodybuilding too, because once I started bodybuilding, I cut off everything. And people don't understand this, but when you bodybuild, you cannot drink. It's not in your game plan. To have that look that I have or the look that people have is like, you cannot drink. Like people don't understand, oh, just have this or just have a shot or just, no, that impacts your physique. That can be a huge difference in winning or losing your competition. So I take that very seriously. So I pick and choose my spots when I decide to drink. So if I'm drinking with you, that means I like you. Egalitarian 207. What's up, Beeps? What's going on, my man? He says he thinks Josh McDaniels may have lost the locker room. I don't think so. Egalitarian 207. I don't think so. Respectfully disagree, obviously. But no, I don't think Josh McDaniels lost this locker room. I honestly think it's the other way. I think they're trending in the right direction. I've seen coaches lose locker rooms. I've been around teams where they lost locker rooms, where coaches have lost locker rooms, and then they start talking and filtering out to the media on certain things. But I don't see that happening here. I think Coach McDaniels is doing a fine job. Now, is that translating to wins? No. But like I said, an empire wasn't built in a day, as Mr. Davis said and told PG over at ESPN. And which, by the way, I said the same exact thing before Mr. Davis echoed that analysis. I said it way before that. I believe I said it during training camp. Is when I started using Empire wasn't built in a day, or Rome wasn't built in a day, yada, yada. Egalitarian Tool says Patrick Graham needs to give Malcolm Kuntz, Neil Farrell, and Matthew Butler more. I agree with you 100% on that. I do agree with you on the Neil Farrell, Matthew Butler, Malcolm Kuntz. I talk to these guys on a regular basis. In fact, I probably talk to these guys. Well, Neil and Matthew, I probably talk to every day. Malcolm, I talk, every, I wouldn't say every, like every other day when we get open period in the locker room. But I agree with you. I agree with you 110%, because in order to know what we have or don't have as far as it pertains to GM Dave Ziegler and the Las Vegas Raiders, you need to know what's going on. You need to know what's going on in terms of your whole entire team. So how do you know what's going on if you don't know what you have? Look, I just want to point this out before I forget. T-Pain, everyone, if you're attending Allegiant Stadium this Sunday against the New England Patriots, T-Pain is going to be entering the halftime show. Tweeted this out earlier. If you don't follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do so. Again, all my social media is located in the description box below here on YouTube. So just open the description box and you'll see my social media linked in that box. And you guys can follow me on all those respective platforms. Didn't post it on the YouTube community page or anything like that, but it is up on Twitter. And it's also on Instagram in my Instagram story, IG story. So check that out. But yeah, getting back to your questions, I agree with you on Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell, and Malcolm Kuntz. I think those guys deserve more rep share for sure. Salvatore Bruno says Nitain Mutai, recent offensive guard signing from the Denver Broncos. Yes. Saw his locker today. He says, he wasn't in there. I wanted to talk to him, but he wasn't there. What's your grade on him? I hear he plays until whistle, high motor player, a beast. I was watching some Denver Broncos film right before hopping on this live stream, and I like what I see from him. He does play to the whistle. He hustles. He has great lateral movement. He's definitely power-based, made for the power run scheme. But then again, he has quick feet. That's something that I really noticed right off from the get-go is he has quick feet. And so, he's very rarely caught out of position, which is a good thing. So no matter what scheme you're in, if it's a power-based inside zone scheme or if it's a zone blocking scheme or try to spread out defenses horizontally, he's versatile. He's scheme diverse, not scheme dependent, as I always say here in the DOB. So I like what I have to say about him. But at the end of the day, it's look, can you do it consistently? I don't know. We have to see how this one plays out. But that was a pretty good pickup. Killing two birds with one stone, right? Killing two birds with one stone within the AFC West. All right. Daniel Kim says, just saw a report that he needs to perform over the next 4 games to even have a chance to come back, as in Derek Carr. Yes. I think Derek Carr's already gone. I think if you had to ask me if he's returning, I'm going to say no. I think if you were to say, hey, Beast, I need an answer from you today. Is Derek Carr returning? I'd be like, no, he's not returning. He's not returning next year. No, it's not really not. Oh, no, he shouldn't. This is not my. It's not like I have this hatred toward Derek Carr. It's just how I see it actually playing out. Not whether I want it to or not want it to. That's totally not how I run my business. But if you were to ask me if Derek Carr's returning next year, I would say no, he's not returning next year. Now watch him return next year. No, I really don't see him returning next year. I think that the Raiders are looking to go in a different direction. Now, is anything official? No. Have I heard anything? No. But this is today on December 15th, 10 days out from Christmas. Merry Christmas come early. I don't think Derek Carr's going to be returning next year. I already ran the numbers. You talked about this on earlier live streams on Derek Carr and what it would cost to release him versus trade him, because we talk about the guaranteed money and how that have a financial impact on the balance sheet, right? It's not a big hit. It's not a big hit. So when you look at it from that perspective, and if you hold a top 10 pick and you can get a guy like Bryce Young, I'm not so high on Will Levis, just FYI. But if you can get a guy like Bryce Young and maybe get a guy like Tom Brady, who may not want to be there in Tampa Bay anymore. And let's see, San Francisco kind of whiffs on him for the second time because they have Brock Purdy. But they also have Trey Lance. And then what's going to happen to Jimmy Garoppolo? All we know is this. The quarterback situation next year for the Las Vegas Raiders is going to look vastly different than it is this year. Blair and DJ's dad said, Carr will be back. He will take a pay cut. Interesting. But what if the Raiders don't want him back? I'm not saying, I'm just saying it's a possibility, right? Like, what if they don't want him back? Like, you can choose to want to be somewhere, but if she don't want you, right? It's like, oh, I want to be with this girl, but she don't want you. So it's like, oh, but I'll buy you this, but I'll do this. It's like, no, man, but she don't want you, bro. Just keeping it 100. So I don't know. Blair and DJ's dad says, just my opinion. I just want to win. Look, just win, baby. That's the mentality here in Henderson and lovely Las Vegas. I know. Just win, baby. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's not about what we want or how I see. It's just basically how I see things playing out. And I just don't see Derek Carr returning. I think it's hard for Derek Carr to return next year, especially if they hold a top 10 pick and you can get a guy like Bryce Young. Now, the knock on Bryce Young, and again, I'm a Roll Tide Roll fan. You guys all know that. Had a joke. Again, obviously, Jarrett Stidham calls me the fake fan. I think that's what I'm known. I don't even think he knows my real name. I think he just knows me as the fake fan. I'm going to ask him, like, do you know? He knows, obviously, Beast. He knows that. He already knows that. But I don't think he knows my name is actually Ryan. I think he just knows Beast and then fake fan, fake Alabama fan. I'm going to ask him tomorrow. Like, hey, do you even know my real name? He's going to be like, no. I'll be surprised if he did. I did tell him that I gave him a shout out on my Twitter timeline the other day because we always joke around. And then he kind of smiled. He's like, yeah, we do. It's like, yeah, we do. Yeah, we joke around. We do. I love Jarrett Stidham. He's a good guy. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to meet Jarrett Stidham, awesome guy to get to know. He's very personable. And he's very smart. Blair and DJ's dad says, you're right. All I'm saying is this. Look, I don't know how this is all going to play out, but I would love to have Tom Brady in a Raider uniform. That'd be dope. Look at Tom Brady, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. What if Josh Jacobs decides to take less money to play with Tom Brady and get a ring? Because Tom Brady could be the X factor in getting and recruiting and team up with Josh McDaniels again in the same system with no drop, which is why they got Jarrett Stidham. Now you have a strong backup to go. Oh, I'm just saying. Daniel says, I don't think we have a chance at Bryce Young. He's projected to go number 1. That's today, Daniel Kim. Just wait till my mock draft comes out. We will see. We'll see how this unfolds because you don't know what's going to happen in free agency. There's always guys getting cut. If you're a GM, you have to look at that. As we know, free agency comes first before the NFL draft in terms of the first wave of free agency. And you always have those surprise cuts as June 1 designation after the draft. But stay tuned. My mock drafts are freaking fire. I'm telling you right now. Beast Receipts, check out my mock drafts. Excited for it. Excited to prove my worth here with the silver and black in my first year covering the team. Niner fans, you already know what I can provide. Raider fans, DOB, you guys do not know yet what I can provide when it comes to the pre-draft analysis. I'm telling you right now, it's on point. In fact, if you guys like my NFL coverage right now, going through week 15, this is nothing compared to the draft. I'm telling you right now, draft, I'm on it. Love it. Blair DJ's dad says, everything I keep hearing is the offense is so complex, so I would imagine a rookie would struggle a lot. Would be best for a rookie to sit for a year. Silent Goldie says, I just want a top 10 defense. I'll even take a top 15 defense. Wow. I want a top 10 defense. Will Anderson, but you have Chandler Jones. It's going to be interesting to see how Chandler Jones plays these next 4 games, because if he remains consistent, then I can be like, okay, he gets the pass. He kind of came on late in the year. All right, but he was consistent. He was consistently bad in the beginning of the year and consistently good, so it kind of averages out. Okay, I get it. 17 million APY. Okay, I get it. First year, okay, I get it. Signed a 3-year, 51 mil. Okay, I get it. But if he struggles, call on Will Anderson. Now, the fact is, no one's really talking about this. If GM Dave Ziegler opts to go after a guy like Tom Brady, and Tom Brady says, you know what, we have a top 10 pick, but I need an offensive lineman, could they go after a guy like Paris Johnson or Peter Skoronski from Northwestern? If you guys don't know these household names yet, familiarize yourself with these guys. Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson. Top 2 offensive tackles in this year's draft. Cream of the crop. Daniel Kim says, also, he's so small framed. I know he's textbook and great vision, but maybe not fast twitch enough for the league. Daniel says, I definitely want to see how your board and mock draft plays out. Look, you can go back to my beast receipts from last year and the years prior to that, because I do a mock draft and I actually do bam, 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 bam. And you guys can see what I had to say in real time and now in hindsight, and then you guys can determine whether or not I'm accurate or inaccurate. But the beast receipt, I wouldn't be doing it if I was like, oh yeah, I'm out of flip-flop. I stick to it. Look, I call myself out. On Twitter, I called myself out. I said Lester Cotton is arguably the best interior offensive lineman on this Raiders team, and he was waived. So I get it wrong. And I like calling myself when I do, because the beast receipt on that one did not check out. And I need to do better. So I apologize to the DOB for getting that wrong back in training camp. Although I wasn't the only one that thought Lester Cotton was going to be a monster. But yeah, he was waived. Just like John Simpson was waived. Alex Bars is hurt. But they got Nite Mutai. They got Jermaine Illuminor. People tend to forget. Blair says, I would take Carr over Brady at this point in their careers, but I'm not Josh McDaniels. Bryce Young, quarterback, is 6 feet and 194 pounds. Seems a little small and makes you wonder durability may be an issue. You know, I guess I can kind of say I kind of disagree, because I think you have to test the guy's heart. Like yes, he may be that 6 foot 194. Right? Like, people think I'm small, but I'm not. I'm big. I'm just short. There's a difference between being big and being short, right? There's a difference between the two. With Bryce Young, I was talking to some of the beat writers, my coworkers at Raiders headquarters today, right before I left. I said, look, we were talking about Bryce Young. And I said, look, this guy has the frame to build up. So if you guys can get this guy bulked up to where he needs to be, where he's 6 foot, because you can't change your height. I mean, 6 foot, 6 foot, it's fine, whatever. I don't care. But if you can kind of get in that 215, 210, 215 with no drop off in speed and lateral agility and mobility inside, outside the pocket, and not being lethargic with your throwing motion, or it doesn't hamper you in any way, shape, or form, you can do that. And trust me, Bryce Young has the frame to get that. Trust me. It's what I do. It's my other 9 to 5 other than covering the NFL, bodybuilding, right? Some players don't have the physical frame. Like Leonard Floyd, you knew what you were getting with Leonard Floyd. You knew he was going to be a tweener. If you guys don't know what a tweener is, it was before the name Edge came into play. Tweener is what we called an edge rusher before Edge took over. But he was a tweener. Hybrid 3-4 outside linebacker, 4-3 defensive end, depending on the over-under scheme that you're trying to face or play. I think Bryce Young is fine. I think he's fine at 6 foot 194. I think you just look, players going to get hurt. But let's be honest about this. I kind of made a joke about this too, and this is kind of funny, but not. Because I always talk about me being vertically challenged, being 5'5". Look, if I played quarterback, and I told my coworkers that if I played quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, it'd be a roughing the passer penalty every single time because you can't hit me high, you can't hit me low. I'm already short. So the target area there is no target area. So I just let people take off my head. It'd be a 15-yard penalty, boom, 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 going down the field, and all of a sudden you find yourself at the 1-yard line. That's the way the rules are dictated this year. Or certainly this year, the past few years. You can't hit the quarterback. Oh, you drove him into the ground, and I can sell that. No problem. I can sell people driving me into the ground, no problem. All I have to do is lift up my feet, fall backwards. The momentum will take me forward, take me backward. Their momentum will take me forward. I can sell it. I can get my head in there. Oh, you hit with the head, the crown of the helmet. Oh, 15-yard penalty. The rules today are ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. I just want to keep Josh Jacobs. Yeah, me too. I want Josh Jacobs here. Daniel Kim says, do you stream during the draft? I do. I actually do 4 to 6 hour live streams. So you guys can hear my analysis compared to the guys you see on TV, on the NFL Network, on ESPN, and so forth. So if you don't want to hear Mel Kiper all the time, you can hear me. I do a live stream. In fact, every correct pick, which I did last year, back in 2022, just happened. Every pick that I got right, I was eating a slice of pizza in one hand and then curling in the other. It's on there on social media. And I got tired of doing curls because I got all the first 10 picks, I got like 7 of them right. And I was tired of doing curls. I was like, I ain't doing this anymore. And eating pizza with the other hand. Literally did that. And I was like, I'm not doing that anymore because that's a lot of curls. I'm not joking. Oh, man. All right. D-Man says, hit that like button. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know and hit that like button. There's 24 of us watching here. Give it a thumbs up. Also, if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do so in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. So you guys will be entered for these DOB giveaways, which are these insulated can bottle holders, as well as $20 socks. This is $40 value right here just for subscribing to the YouTube channel here in the Dark Side of Beastwriter. So we got Devontae Adams. We got Max Crosby. Look at that. I mean, who doesn't want these bad boys? Just saying. NFL licensed stuff, man. I'm not joking. We got it all for you. Even has the NFLPA logo on here, if you guys can see that. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that before, but has that. Made by Strideline. Holla. We also have those Raider Nation rally towels for you guys. You guys can see your Raiders. I love hearing that. That's dope. I think that's dope. All right, Phil Romero from YouTube and here in the DOB says, I want the Raiders to go defensive tackle or middle linebacker. So I guess you want an off-ball linebacker who can cover, because in today's day and age, no longer do you want a Ken Norton Jr. You want a guy that can play all 3 downs in coverage. You don't want a Gary Plummer. You don't want, who are these other, like a Zach Thomas, who was a tackling machine, by the way, but I don't think he was good in coverage. You're going to want a 3-down backer who can line up and definitely take away the seams down the field and stay in stride and not get caught out of his zone by catching eye candy from the running back coming out of the flat. It happens all the time. The fuga that we talk about. But yeah, no, I think if you want to D-tackle, Jalen Carter out of Georgia, talk to Zeus White about Jalen Carter. He says, man, I was like, how was it going up against him in practice? He's like, dude, that guy is the real deal. Like, I knew he was going to be, yeah. That's what he says. I knew he was going to be, yeah. That's what Zeus told me. I was like, what do you think about Jalen Carter, man? Because we talk about Georgia, Alabama all the time. And I was like, what do you think about, you talk about Jordan Davis, my guy, Nakobe Dean, Yeah, we talk about all the, all his former teammates. And I was like, what about Jalen Carter? He's like, oh, man, yeah, that dude, yeah. That dude, yeah. I was like, oh, that's it. That's all I need to know. Okay. So, man, that dude, yeah. As in, he's a monster, obviously. I love talking to Zeus. Good guy. Dominant Zeus White. Describe his game in one word to me as dominant. Loved it. All right. Rocker Corey, haven't seen you. He says, Sup, Beast? What's going on, my man? How are you doing today? How are you doing tonight? Silent Goldie says linebackers don't typically pan out in the first round, better looking in the later rounds. It depends on if you're picking an off-ball linebacker as opposed to an edge rusher. And then on top of that, because I would disagree with that. I think when you look back in history, if you're looking at an outside linebacker who's also an edge rusher, I think that is kind of in a different category as a simple off-ball linebacker. Now, if you're looking for a simple off-ball linebacker, one who was in recent memory who I wanted the Niners to draft back in 2018 was Roquan Smith. I said draft Roquan Smith no matter what. You guys can check the Beast receipts on Twitter. On draft day, I said that. I said they're going to have to trade up. They're going to have to leapfrog a few teams in order to get him because the Niners were picking late. I think they were picking ninth. I knew he was going to be off the board in the top 7 picks, and he was. Or top 8 picks. I think he went to the Chicago Bears. I think it was number 8 or something like that by Ryan Pace. But going back to how do I remember this? I don't know. But it's what I do. But no, I totally remember that. There's a lot of off-ball linebackers, that you can find in later rounds, obviously like the Fred Warners, the Bobby Wagners in the second round. But yeah, you have guys who, if you're talking about straight off-ball linebacker or even an on-ball linebacker, like an edge rusher, like if you're looking for an edge rusher, I mean, Micah Parsons, prime example, right? I think he's a guy that in recent memory, Will Anderson, he's going to be just like a Micah Parsons type of a deal. Now, maybe not on that level initially, but I'm just saying that type of skill set that he can bring to the table. I really like Will Anderson. He's scheme diverse. He can play in a 3-4 front or a 4-3 base. You can line him up as a 2-point stance or in a 3-point stance, and he could be blitzing from all different places, A, B, or C gaps. So I really like what Will Anderson brings to the table. He's the guy that you really want to have on your team because he can be an extra chess piece for your defensive scheme. And so I think that plays a role. And what Coach Graham likes to do is he likes to put his players in the best position to make plays. And how do you do that? Well, you want your best players making those plays, right? So how do you scheme things up to have those players have opportunities to make plays on the football? Salvador Bruno says, I want Max and Adam socks. Thumbs up. Well, you're entered. You're definitely entered. Jamie says, that dude, yeah. Talking more off-ball linebackers. Okay, yeah, off-ball linebackers. I mean, Roquan Smith is a prime example. He's been a stud back in 2018. But yeah, if you go back, if you're talking about first-round linebackers, off-ball linebackers, yeah, I think you can kind of make a case for that. But in this draft, I'm not really high, to be honest with you, on any of these off-ball linebackers in round 1 that are projected going round 1. Now I have to watch more game film on these players. I'm not going to have a strong conviction about that. What I just said until I go back to the game film, because all my analysis is based on game film and film study. That's it. It's not based on you're not projecting, you're seeing. Right now, you do have to project a little bit based on the conference and based on the level of competition and the NFL traits that you look for in certain positions based on certain schemes and all that BS. It's not BS, but you guys get it's a lot of information. Not going to go in too much in detail about that. There's just not enough time. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we can look forward to when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders. And let's face it, if they hold a top 10 pick, who's to say that GM Jay Ziegler may not trade out and get more darts at the board that we always talk about, right? Here in the DOB. I think that's the logical way of doing it because there's a lot of holes. The offensive line has a lot of holes. If you don't know what's going to happen on the defense has a lot of holes. The secondary needs to get revamped. Trayvon Merrick is struggling. Now, I would like to see Duron Harmon come back, although he signed a 1-year deal. I want him to return next year. But, I mean, Rock Yassine's been injured, right? He's been out with a knee injury, so we don't know how he's going to hold up. If he's resigned, there's another player that they have. Obviously, you have Anthony Averett, who went on IR. They signed him to a 1-year deal, so we don't know what's going to happen to him. Amik Robertson is a holdover from the Mike Mayock and John Gruden regime coming out of Louisiana Tech. So we don't know what's going to happen with him, if even GM Dave Ziegler wants him to return next year. So you look at that, just in that positional group, that's a lot of corners that you're going to be MIAing on, right? Because they're not going to be back next year. And Trayvon Mullen was shipped out. He's gone, right? Tyree Gillespie, you guys remember him? They shipped him out. He's gone, went to the Titans. And then John Robinson at the time was like, nah, man, like, we don't like you either. And they, after trading for him, let him go. I mean, let's keep it 100. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of holes on defense for this team. And so it's going to look vastly different. Is Jayon Brown going to be returning next year? Like, we don't know. We really don't know. There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes on both sides of the football, if you were to ask me. Lot of holes. Now, with that being said, we can always do. Let's see. We got some. Dang, we got a lot of comments all up in this. Blair DJ Day said, I've given up on the playoffs. Just beat KC and San Francisco. Yeah, I definitely the 49ers. I would love to see that. Now it's funny because someone asked me, oh, who do you want to win? I was like, of course I want the Raiders to win. Like, of course. All the Niner fans, if you're watching this, oh my gosh, you're horrible. You're this and you're that. You're like, it's like, dude, like, nah, man. I'm with the silver and black now. Like, I'm not like I said, I'm not a fan of any particular team, but let's face it, the team that I'm covering, if they do well, I do well. So why would I not? And you build relationships with these guys, right? These players and the coaches and some of their whys and so forth. So you have some kind of sense of, obviously, like, it'd be like you wouldn't have a heart if you didn't want them to do well. Like, if you want them to do bad, like that's just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of like bad vibes. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. Wouldn't you want the team that you're covering to do well? Like, why would you want them to do bad? That just makes no sense. But there are people out there who are like, yeah, I want them to do bad. Like, why do you want them to do bad? Like, if they do bad, they do bad. So what? Like, okay, cool. But it's like you want them, like, you're actively searching for them to be bad. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. All right, so I just got a notification. Obviously, you guys know I'm part of Team EvoGen. So we have a 25% off deal tomorrow for creatine and glutamine when you bundle those two together. You guys can see the link in the description box below. My EvoGen products that I promote are in the description box. And if you use my code EvoBeast, you will get 50% off those supplements. So if people are asking what supplements to take, obviously I'm EvoGen loyal, so I take EvoGen supplements. And again, it's in the description box. If you have any questions on EvoGen supplements, just shoot me a DM or interact with me here, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions that you may have. I was talking to Jakob Johnson today about Olympia. He was thinking about going to Olympia. Obviously, he can't go because the Patriots are playing this week, and he has to get ready for the Patriots. But we were talking about supplements and everything. I was like, man, like, in the off season, because Olympia is different times of the year. So you should go, man, and check it out, because the expos, you can see all the, everything that they have to offer and so forth. So as far as the expo, if you guys haven't been to Olympia, I'm telling you, man, you guys need to go. I heard it dope. All right. What's up, C says 2 minutes from a playoff game. And to be honest with you, it's really not a game. I'm telling you, the Niners are going to come out of this game. It's over. It's done. I said it back in the third quarter at 8:38 mark. It's done. The Niners already won this game. Insane. Salvador Bruno says, I want our defense to improve greatly next year through draft and free agency. Defense. Defense is always at the bottom of the. Yes, they are. Not going to lie. Blair DJ's dad says Tillery has helped the D-line bring him back. He has helped the D-line, but he also cost us the game last game. And people who say, oh, it's other penalties and it's like how you pin on Tillery. No, you can't. Because despite all those previous penalties, they were still in it to win it. And you move from 2nd and 19 at the 13-yard line to now moving up to 1st and 10 on the 28. Look at the analytics and you tell me what the odds are of them pulling out the victory. And people who are saying, oh, well, Coach Graham was rolling cover 1 the whole time. Well, in 2nd 19, you're probably rolling quarters coverage. Or at least quarter half, or at least 2 deep thirds. Just saying it. Daniel Kim, my guy, says, do you think we move on from any coaches? That defense at the end of the Rams game had a lot of people asking for Graham's head. I do think changes are going to be made. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to have the same coaching staff. In fact, I can see, a handful of coaches being let go at the end of the year. I mean, when you reassess it, now again, I like Coach Graham. I think he's a great coach, and people have different logic on that, but I like Coach Graham. We're going to interview him. Speaking of Coach Graham, I get to interview him tomorrow. But at the end of the day, it's almost like, okay, coaches coach and players play. Yes, the play calls were questionable at the end. I'm not going to sit here and say you should have played cover one when you shouldn't have played cover one. But he did have trust in Sam Webb. He did have trust in some of these boundary cornerbacks to play that single high coverage, man underneath. Okay. Was it the right call? Would I have done it? I mean, Baker Mayfield went on record and said, I'm surprised that they went cover one. If you look at that play that Sam Webb got beat on, I mean, he played that leverage perfectly in terms of squeezing the wide receiver with an outside release. The only bad thing that Sam Webb did was he didn't use the sideline as an extra defender, squeezing him to the sideline. Like that, you want to use that 12th man. And if you're going to use that 12th man, you want to use the sideline as an extra defender. He wasn't able to do that. So in that regard, yeah, that falls on the coaches to know that, hey, look, like maybe he wasn't able to do that. And so maybe you shouldn't have rolled that coverage, but everything's in hindsight. Like in real time, I mean, I think you're playing to win, not playing not to lose. If you're playing scared all the time, you're going to lose. And so I think Coach Graham thought it was best served at that time to roll cover one and trust his cornerbacks that what they've taught throughout the week of practice or throughout training camp leading up to that game, that they had enough trust in Sam Webb to get it done. Blair and DJ's dad said, first time here, really enjoyed it. Thank you. No, thank you so much, man. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and flip on the bell notification so you get notified when we go live and when we upload content. And you'll also enter for our weekly DOB giveaways. All right. Daniel Kinson's Niners about to score again on the 1 yard line. Did they score already? We're a few minutes behind here. No, they did it. The game's over. So 21-13. That's the game. Victory formation is game over. Jamie says, aloha, base. I think we still need a true wide receiver 2 with speed. Do you see this as a need since we already have Renfrow and Waller? I don't think so. I think Renfrow will ultimately be the slot machine that we all think he can be. I mean, think about it. If you have Devontae Adams, you have Hunter Renfrow, and you have Darren Waller, that's enough balls. I don't need a wide. You could plug me at wide receiver 2 as a decoy. I wouldn't be a decoy. No one would expect me to get the ball, but you can plug anyone there and just stand there. There's just not enough balls to go around. I don't think they need a wide receiver 2. I think you can go and sign someone off the street. I really do. Because Devontae Adams is enough single-handedly. And then you add in a healthy Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. There's only enough footballs to go around. You're looking at the target share based on the number of completions, based on all that other aspects of it. I mean, you're thinking that Devontae Adams gets at least what? 35%, 40% of the target share. I mean, him alone. And then the other 40% is going to be split between Waller and Renfrow. 35%, let's say. All right. And then the rest is going to be the running backs, tight ends, and maybe that wide receiver 2. And that's like what? Once in a blue moon, that guy gets a target. So that's like the Brian Edwards, Keelan Cole, Mac Hollins type of a dynamic. So how many the target share is what I look for. I think you can find that guy off the street. Just my opinion. Or in the draft. If you can find someone in maybe the third or fourth round, it's not a pressing need because, again, target share is a huge responsibility when you look and formulate your roster and personnel. And I think Darren Waller, if you're going to have a healthy Darren Waller, a healthy Hunter Renfrow, and Devontae. And that's 3 guys right there. They're all going to want the football. Then you add in another wide receiver 2. Is he really a wide receiver 2 option? No, he's probably the 4th option, right? He's probably the 4th option. D-Man says, subscribe to Beast. D-Man says, welcome to the DOB, Blair and DJ's dad. Yeah, welcome. Definitely welcome to the DOB. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and spread the word to all your family and friends. Look, how we're gonna grow, because you probably just found me, DJ Blair and DJ's dad, but how we're gonna grow is by sharing the content, giving it a thumbs up. A thumbs up is free, so there's 24 of us watching right now. Just give this video a thumbs up, hit the like button. What it's going to do is it's going to push the algorithm here on YouTube and all these other social media platforms to other like-minded Raider Nation, and let them decide whether or not they think my content is legit or not legit. Being a beat writer, my first year covering the team, and if they like the analysis, odds are they are, because you do. They're going to want to subscribe to the channel. So the bigger we get, I keep stressing this enough. It takes the whole DLB family for us to get to where we want to be. I want to be at 10,000 subscribers by this time next year, and we're about halfway there. So we got 5,000 already, or roughly about 5,000 already. So we're really growing at a pace that I'm very pleased with. Now it's time to kind of just tell people to share the content, give it a thumbs up, and then also when you go to a tailgate, when you go to, obviously Christmas is coming up, you go to these family events and be like, hey, look, have you heard of this guy named Dark Side of Beastwriter? I've heard of this Beastwriter. What's Beastwriter? Oh man, it's this channel on YouTube. He keeps you updated on the pulse around the league, as well as the silver and black. He's a beat writer for the team. He's there Monday through Friday. He does exclusive interviews with the players in the locker room, post game. He's there up in the press box. He's there on game days. He does giveaways every week. What? Who does that? Giveaways? They're not going to hear anything you said other than just the giveaways. I'm telling you right now. Giveaways, sign me up. Oh, shoot. You know what's funny, though? Thank you so much for the super chat and super sick. I appreciate it, Blair and DJ's dad. I really, really appreciate it. You know what's funny, though? Because literally, I'm the same way. It's like, I don't know. Giveaways? No, no, that can't be true. Really? Seriously, give giveaways. Yeah. I do. Yeah, I give giveaways. And the bigger we get here in the DLB, the bigger the prizes. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to give out Raider tickets to games. Like, I'm not talking about one single game ticket. I'm talking about you, and you can bring a friend. And no, I'm not talking about those nosebleed tickets. I'm talking about like tickets on the 20-yard line, 30-yard line, down in the lower field. I'm telling you, if we get big, trust me, the Niners already know that's what I do. They get club seat tickets to the games. Still till this day. I'm still covering the show in black, but I still have love for my 49er fans. They, for instance, the last few weeks, they've been getting free tickets to the games. This whole year, basically. But I'm just saying, the last few weeks, I still run giveaways. They're like, whoa, how do I know this? They subscribe to the channel. They still engage with us on this platform. And then I go ahead and give back. That's what it's about. Look, I wouldn't be in the business I am today without you guys in my corner. Let's just keep it 100. So for me to be all my heart, oh yeah, I got you. No, man, it takes a freaking village, man. Like, it takes a team effort. And that's what I'm saying. Spread the word to all your family and friends about the DLB. Let them know what's hot. Let them know about the silver and black content. Let them know about the predictions and analysis that I provide on a daily basis. Let them know about the film study, the game grades, that I just not cover the silver and black, but I cover all 32 as it pertains to, of course, fantasy football. And we're here in Vegas. You can bet. You can place. People literally place bets based on what I say. Literally get emails from people saying, thank you. You helped me win this week. I'm like, oh. Literally, I had a guy last week. I don't know who this guy is. It could be BS. It could be some guy that's like lying. It's like, oh man, I was in debt X amount of dollars, a lot of money. He's like, I've been listening to you this whole year, man, discreetly. And I just want to say thank you. It's like, now I'm still in debt, but I'm not in as much debt as I was. I was like, wait, what? Give me some of that money. But apparently he says he gave me a super chat. And I do remember I got a pretty sizable super chat not too long ago. Kevin Lurker, thank you so much, man. He says, I'm late. You're good, man. You're here. You're probably watching the Thursday night football game because you play fantasy football. That's my guess. Oh, look, see, you said was pulling for Seattle. No contest. See? I know what happens here in the DOB. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. The Raider Room says, salute, Beast. Glad I could make a live. Look, everyone's tuning in after the game. I love it. I should have listened to What's Up, G, but you know what? I figured, I got to eat still. I got to eat my dinner. I still got to work out later. There's a lot of things I got to do before setting up my. Also, I got to watch more game film tonight. So obviously, you guys know I don't go to sleep till like 3 a.m. You guys already know this, and I don't even know how I'm doing it. I really don't. But by the way, any of you but Kevin, thank you so much for joining. But I know this is like something that's off topic. How many of you guys watch Disney Plus? I'm going to raise my hand. I'm a huge Disney. I'm a nerd. I don't care. I'm a nerd. I like Lord of the Rings. I like Harry Potter. I like all that stuff. I do. I'm the dude that stands in line. For real. I'm not joking. I would stand in line to watch Lord of the Rings, like The Hobbit when it came out. I was like on TV in the background because I was one of those people. And those people dressed up in costumes, really cool. They're passing out lamb dish bread and all that other stuff, like all that good stuff. And hey man, I like it. I ain't dress up obviously, although I should one of these days. But no, I was literally that guy outside the line, and I was like, man, I want to watch The Hobbit. Stood in line for like 7-8 hours for the first show of The Hobbit. I'm talking about Disney Plus because if you guys remember Willow's awesome. If you guys don't see Willow on Disney Plus, watch Willow. I watched it as a kid growing up. They came out with now Willow the series. I thought it was going to be horrible. I was like, man, the original Willow was good. How are they going to make it? They only made one movie of it. Like, it's a George Lucas film. I was like, man, like, is this going to be good? Watched it. Great. Don't want to ruin it for you guys, but it's playing in the background right now. I must have watched this scene like 3 times already. You guys got to watch Willow on Disney Plus. I'm telling you guys right now. If you guys like that kind of stuff, you guys are going to watch it. But no, thank you so much, Kevin Lurker, for the super chat, super sticker. I appreciate it. All right. Raider Room says, salute Beast. Glad I could make a live. I'm glad you can make it too. And thank you so much for sharing all my content on Instagram. A lot of you guys follow me on Instagram and other social media platforms other than Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, you name it, and here on Facebook. So, really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate the love I've been receiving. And it's nothing but good vibes only here in the DOB. Blair and DJ's dad says Crosby defensive player of the year, Jacobs offensive player of the year. Look, if Josh, you know what's funny about this? They could arguably be, I don't know if this is a stat. I'm sure it is. Has there ever been a season where a team that did not make the playoffs had an offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year in the same season? That's a good trivia question. If you guys know the answer to that, I'm doing this live. Obviously, I guess I can Google it or ask Siri, but I'm not going to do that. I figure I can do that after. But is there ever a time where a player won offensive player of the year and a player that won defensive player of the year in the same season that did not make the playoffs that year? That's a good trivia question. I guess you can think about the crappy teams. Let's look at all the crappy teams that done that. That is a good question. That'd be crazy if there was an offensive player of the year and a defensive player of the year in the same season, they didn't make the playoffs. Like, how does that happen? It could happen with the Raiders. They could literally not make the playoffs and have Josh Jacobs as offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year and Max Crosby and still not make the playoffs, as Blair and DJ's dad pointed out. That could very well happen. And you put it right here. There he is. Yeah, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. But all right, I think that's going to wrap up this live stream. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to the Dark Side of Beastwriter here on YouTube. If you guys have yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. And also share this video or share the content on all your social media respective platforms. A lot of you guys are on Facebook. Just share it on your Facebook page, and then people will see that in your profile and be like, hey, look, like, what's going on? And bam. And as we grow, we can give out bigger prizes. So we're giving out these two bad boys, courtesy of the Raider Image store. Well, actually, courtesy of me, because I bought them at the Raider Image store. They give them to me. But no, going to give out these socks, $20 value each. Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, two of the very best in the game, as well as these two insulated cup holders to keep your drinks nice and cold, whether it be beer or whatever the case may be. Raider Nation rally towel for all of you guys. Bam. My guy Daniel Kim is going to be getting one of these because he's been supporting the DOB since day one. And I'm going to give you guys another one of these out. And yeah, it's $100 worth of stuff. So yeah. Good vibes only here in the DOB. So thank you so much for the super chat and super stickers. Blair and DJ's dad, welcome to the dark side of Beastwriter. And thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker. Kevin Lurker, thank you so much. You were late for a very important date, but you made it here in the DOB in the end. Thank you so much, Kevin. I did respond to your comment on my workout that I posted yesterday on the reps and sets in the name of gains. So 4 to 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps, depending on what you're trying to do, whether it be muscle strength or endurance or whatever the case may be, or a combination of the two. And then on top of that, I was curling, usually curl 50, 52, 55, sometimes 60-pound dumbbells. So just depends on what my coach wants. And at the end of the day, I always stress this, like, it's not about how much weight you push as it is the form, but then ultimately you're going to want to push heavier weight. You don't want to be standing still and being stagnant. So how do you get that resistance? How do you challenge your body? Well, you're going to have to be pushing more weight. So I always like to lift heavy. It's not an ego thing. It's just for me to get the gains that I need to lift heavy. I can't be at the gym curling, XYZ pounds and then be there for a day and a half. And then all of a sudden that's one set. Don't have enough time for that. So being as efficient as possible is the key to success when it comes to your gains. But no, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Like I said, hit the like button and at least do that. It would help us out a lot. Also, before I let you go, the Sporting Tribune, you guys know I am the beat writer for the Las Vegas Raiders for the Sporting Tribune. So be sure to follow us on social media as well. The Sporting Tribune by Arash and Chris Mattman. You guys will know that I post all my content on Twitter, on YouTube, but also, as you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, the Sporting Tribune is also a good outlet for all your silver and black content by yours truly, Dark Side of Beastwriter. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Like I said, this has been a lot of fun, and nothing but good vibes only. Nothing but good vibes only. Daniel Kim says, thanks, Beast. SVT Vasquez gave you a shout out, man, on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you so much for the inspirational video that you posted of you working out. I saw you hitting your bicep curls. I saw that. So I saw that. Gave you a shout out, man, on my Instagram. So hopefully you got some followers out of it. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. We are going to head this out. And again, it's all about good vibes only here in the DOB. We try to keep it that way. So all people are welcome. Doesn't matter if you're a Chiefs fan, Broncos fan. I don't give a dang. As long as you're respectful here in the DOB, that's all that matters. Because again, I run grades on everything. Holly Wong says, don't forget to press the like button. Yeah. And you know what's funny is the like button does a lot. Like, to a lot of people, it's like, oh man, I don't need to hit that like button. No, it really does help. Like, it's free. It helps me a lot. So like, honestly, if you want to help the DOB family, if you like the content, hit that like button before you head out of this live stream, simply because of the fact that it's going to help us grow. And again, if you're a Raider fan, the bigger the prizes here in the DOB. So it's by not doing it, I guess you say you'd be doing yourself a disservice, because you're not going to be, not you specifically, but we're not going to grow fast enough to where we can give out those bigger prizes that we give out. And we're already giving out pretty good size prizes. Just think, if we double the size this time next year, what the prize is going to be. Definitely Raider tickets. Hands down. Not just one, but two. Not just one, but two. And I want to be in the black hole. I want to get those vibes in the black hole. That's why I'm going to try to do it. So good vibes only here in the DOB. What else can you say? Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. Be sure to, again, show that love and support. I'll be back on the live stream tomorrow, giving you the locker room pulse as it pertains to Silver and Black on Friday, as well as picking a winner for the DLB weekly giveaway. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night. Beastwriter out.